I think in Europe the gas market has to assure that we continue to use gas as an environmental friendly fuel at a time when we see a declining gas demand, when we are faced with serious concerns about security of supply that we need to address. But we need to address them in a way that does not push up the price of gas, because then we would push gas out of the market, which would be counterproductive. So we have to make best use of all the tools of liberalization, expanding the market, growing the markets, integrating them more tightly, build only these infrastructures that are really necessary, and make sure that we jointly address the problems of changing demand, stranded investments and security of supply concerns without raising the costs too much. In light of the feared interruption, because there were no physical interruptions last year in Europe, a lot of discussion have happened. We had the stress tests, we had a very thorough debate on which measures could be used to improve security of supply, and we have now a proposal on the table that's being developed by the Commission with a lot of input from stakeholders on a number of areas where we could improve security of supply. And they mostly are concerned with better planning and preparing for situations like that, more formal framework within solidarity and joint activities done, and the diversification of the sources, and an improvement of the interconnectivity in the markets, between markets. And if we are able to improve in those four areas, I think we'll have a much secure gas system without necessarily much higher cost. The gas market in 20, 30, 50 years of time will look in many aspects very different. I think we will have a smaller amount of gas used in Europe, but I think we will continue to use gas. We hopefully by then have a truly integrated market that is able to survive even serious disruptions for a while without cutting off anybody. And hopefully we have established a well-working infrastructure at reasonable cost level, and a much more diversified supply situation than we have today, basically having no supplier with maybe more than 10–15% market share, so that we are not dependent on a single producer, very much like we have the oil market, where today we are not really dependent on a single producer on a high level, and therefore a disruption will have price effects, but will not cut off oil supply from anybody. I think we need to get to the same level of sort of resilience on the gas side.